The Red Dirt D&D podcast is brought to you by Pro Laser Cuts. The Oklahoma company provides pre-made and customizable design laser cut dice towers, tokens, and more, developed by a gamer for gamers, and now available to enhance your tabletop game. Pro Laser Cuts products can be found at many Oklahoma City area game stores, local events, and now available online at prolasercuts.com. That's laser and cuts with a Z, Pro Laser Cuts. And by SD Way Gaming, where dice goblins unite. Our friends at SD Way Gaming celebrate the beautiful dice players handpick for their games and splendor. SD Way Gaming has expanded to include many tabletop gaming varieties, accessories, and similar fun necessities to include a service for your dice addiction. You can shop for a variety of products at sdwaygaming.com or find SD Way Gaming on Facebook. Welcome to Red Dirt D&D. I'm Michael Cross, and I play Blackjack, a Jackalope Folk Warlock.
I'm Connor Shenold, and I play Jaska, a Coyote Ranger.
I'm Johnny Payne, and I play Twitch, a Rat Folk Wizard.
I'm Brooke Bullock, and I play Zionsi, a Spider-Can Cleric.
I'm Kim Cross, and I play Beatrix, a Tabaxi Rogue.
And I'm Kiri Hester, and I play Billy, a Balsam Fighter. And this time, I'm also your Dungeon Master. Join us as we go into the wilds. So you have defeated these very suspicious demolition crew in the outskirts of camp out near the perimeter. And as you approach the main area of camp and the main buildings, once again, finishing your perimeter check, you hear the lunch bell and head back towards camp. Your morning well spent, you make your way past the mess hall, which buzzes with the chatter of campers eagerly awaiting lunch. Tinkertop's wooden crate, a familiar sight, stands near the entrance. However, the absence of the eccentric elf is noticeable.
Are we dragging a couple bodies back with us?
I think we should take a korred.
I'm going to speak up here and say that might be very traumatizing for the children for us to drag a dead body through camp. So, you are headed towards the administration buildings. You know that Tinkertop's office is going to be over there by Nurse Marjorie's office to go report this barrier breach, or at least these hostile creatures, whether they came in via barrier or not. And as you head that way, you catch a glimpse of Tinkertop disappearing around the corner of a nearby building, presumably his cabin. His typically chipper voice carries through the air, but today you hear a little frustration. You can't hear exactly what he's saying, but you can kind of hear the tone. You're not sure what's going on or who he's talking to. And a breeze blows through, the leaves rustle the branches, and they kind of sound like whispered secrets here.
And sneaking along behind to try to hear what they're saying.
You definitely can do that. I need stealth check.
I would also
I'm
like to
going
do that.
to stand back and let that happen, and
I guess I also will stand here because I am not sneaky.
23.
Okay.
24.
oh,
So-
actually, I guess I can try it. I'm going to try it.
I'll wait here.
I knew
Yeah.
you couldn't resist.
26.
Pure FOMO.
Okay, so Jaska, Beatrix, and Blackjack are investigating. Zionsi, Twitch, are either of you going with them, or are you going to stay with Billy?
Stand back.
I
Staying
stay with
back.
Billy.
Okay, so Blackjack, Beatrix, Jaska, you head sneaky, stealthy, kind of stick into the shadows, watching your footfalls, and you can kind of get yourself angled behind a tree so you can see around the corner of this building. And around the corner, you see Tinkertop talking to a person you don't recognize. They're tall and elven. Their strong shoulders straight and firm under their blue cape that seems so dark blue, it seems to absorb the kind of late morning light, and it's clasped together across their chest with a fine silver chain. Under the cape, their waistcoat is trimmed with silver embroidery of thorned vines twisting around the edges, carrying onto their black pants and shiny boots. Their hair is ebony black and perfectly styled into waves that kind of brush against their shoulders as they turn their head. They tower over Tinkertop, the top of Tinkertop's orb-like hair barely reaching the stranger's chin as the stranger glowers down at Tinkertop. And they pull at their gloves and seems to sneer in Tinkertop's direction before speaking.
Tinkertop, my dear fellow, I find your insistence on keeping this quaint little camp open
quite amusing.
Lord Ironthorn, I've told you before, Camp Glimmerwood is a haven for these young elves. Closing it would be like blotting out the very stars in the sky.
Stars, how poetic. But Tinkertop, let's be practical. The camp is hemorrhaging financially, and everybody knows it. Your barriers are failing, young elves are in danger, and the parents are pulling their children away. I'm giving you a chance to save face and close the doors gracefully.
I won't abandon these kids. For many, this camp is their only refuge. I'll find a way to keep it open.
Oh, my dear man, you are a sentimental fool. This is the real world, not some fairy tale. Do you think these elves stand a chance in the world you're trying to protect them from?
They deserve a chance, just like everybody else. And the stranger kind of leans over Tinkertop, causing Tinkertop to take a step back. And the stranger smiles menacingly and his eyes kind of glint.
Tinkertop, you should know that my patience is wearing thin. I've shown you courtesy and given you time, but if you persist in this folly, things are only going to get worse for you. There will be dire consequences.
Consequences? What are you suggesting?
And he seems to smirk a little bit. You wouldn't want anything untoward to happen to your precious campers, would you? Or maybe those new counselors seem to kind of have stumbled upon into this place at just the right time. Think about it, Tinkertop. Make the right decision. The barrier seems fragile, and accidents are known to happen.
Tinkertop takes a step forward, and he looks up at the stranger. But just as he's about to say something, the stranger raises a hand, says a few words, and in an instant disappears, leaving Tinkertop alone behind the cabin. Tinkertop clenches his fists, takes a couple of breaths, and begins to walk in your general direction. He doesn't see you, but he's kind of walking in that way.
I'm going to step out.
And I'm going to join.
You see he kind of stretches his fingers out, kind of very forcefully unclenching his fists, and says, "Oh, hi there, how did perimeter check go?"
Not good. We ran into some problems.
And you see him give like kind of a watery smile. Great! I mean, not great, but I'm glad you were there.
Fizzletop, we've got a problem, and I think you know what it is. But before we tell you what we just heard from you, you should know that we ran into some earth elementals and some other stony, humanoid-looking creatures tearing down a cabin near the perimeter.
Oh, yes, the isolation cabin. Got rid of that years ago. It seemed like a bad idea, separating the kids from each other just for breaking the rules. Now we have a lot, we're encouraging but yeah, no, I'm glad you were there to stop them.
Yes, I'm glad we were there too, but unfortunately, they were there in the first place. They shouldn't have been there.
And they seemed like that isolation cabin wasn't going to be their only target for demolition.
You see his eyes harden a little bit around the edges, and he thinks for a long moment before letting everything go, the facade he's been holding on to. And he says, I've tried to keep a brave face, believing that things will turn around, that Sios's luck would help me out. But we're on the brink of a dire situation here. Attendance is dwindling, the camp is running out of funds, the recent monster attacks have scared away parents, and we're losing money faster than I can fortify the barriers. And it doesn't seem to matter how strong I make the barriers because these monsters are getting in time and time again, and I just don't understand it.
Fizzletop, your luck has turned around, I can promise you that, because we are here. If you've been counting on Sios to bring you some luck, you have in us. We've already taken care of those earth elementals and the earth creatures that seem to be leading them. So, we're here to help you out, but you've got to be honest with us. We heard this Lord Ironthorn and his threats against you. So, what is it going to be? Are you going to fill us in on everything, or are you going to keep it to yourself and maybe seal your own demise?
So Ziansi's watching from a distance a little bit and then sees the body language and Blackjack maybe putting a hand out there and says to Twitch,
Oh, wait, look at that body language. Yeah, Blackjack's got him now. I bet it's safe for us to go over there.
Yeah. Someone's in trouble. Let's go see.
I mean, I'm not That's it. That's all I've got. I don't know how they're getting in. You heard the conversation with Thorn. He's an influential and honestly somewhat unsavory figure in this part of the Feywild. He's been pressuring me to close the camp. He claims it's for our safety. I think it's something more than that, but this camp is all that some of these elves have. I mean, Brock has been coming here for 50 years. His single mother sends him. She works a handful of jobs to make ends meet after fleeing Brock's not so great dad, if I'm being honest. She sends him here in hopes that he'll find a male role model, but he's been the best big brother to the Pixie Scouts. Even though he's definitely overcompensating in the gym, it's just so that he won't ever be the weakest person in the room again. He'll always be able to stand up for his mom. And I mean, that's just Brock. Callista doesn't even know her parents, really. She's here year round. Her parents are merchants who travel around the world looking for rare magical items. They have clearly no interest in being a parent. I think she finds so much comfort in the stars because she knows that wherever in the realms her parents are, they're all looking at the same sky. It's the only thing I can think of. She's never wanted anything more than for her parents to just acknowledge her, but she's here every season and they never come pick her up. She's been here forever. Eugene's parents are little sheep herders. He's the 7th son, and when it became clear he wasn't gonna be as strong as his brothers, his parents wrote him off as a liability. And more than anything, he just wants to contribute to his family. And he's pretty sure that finding the Flutter Glimmers is gonna change that, but I mean, it's kind of a fool's quest. They're not real. Kinsley's parents have clearly kept her on track to being a political powerhouse as an adult. If she manages to get her Luminary badge this season, she'll be the youngest Pixie Scout to ever do so. They have her micromanaged into the second of her life, and camp is the only place she seems able to just enjoy life, to not be scheduled. Each season, it takes like a solid 2 days before she cracks a smile. And believe it or not, Elion is from the heart of Athenas. He's a downtown kid. His parents are very powerful in the city. Can you imagine that guy going most of the year without seeing a single wild thing? All the gardens manicured and predictable? His siblings stopped coming after the first couple seasons, but Elion comes because it's the only time he can really relax. He's not shuffled from luncheons and parties, making the best connections and meeting the right people and preparing to become his parents' heir. If this camp closes, what happens to them? I can't let Thorn close this camp, but I'm doing everything I know to do.
But I think most especially, what about Dahlia? She seems to be somewhat of a wallflower, but opening here.
Dahlia, she's from really far away compared to the other campers, but her parents send her here because the other elves won't accept her different magic style. She's not as regimented or predictable as they are, and they really just want her to make friends. They hoped that sending her here, somewhere where nobody would know who she is, she would make some friends, maybe even an advantageous connection, if you will. But I build the barriers up, and I build the barriers up, and somehow these creatures are getting in, and I don't know what else I can do.
And I'm sure we talked about this on the way, what Twitch heard in their minds.
Right, yeah.
Those people that had got in to do the demolition, they mentioned that someone very powerful and very rich is who got them in here. Seems as this Thorns is also trying to undermine you at every turn. He knows about your barrier, but does he know how to get people past it?
The trees didn't say anything.
I'm sorry, what?
The alarm system?
You eavesdropped on that whole conversation I had with him, right? Okay.
Right.
So he did the thing and he disappeared. Did the trees do anything? No. So I assume
He's got his own portal.
he has
As a way in and out.
It wouldn't be a weird thing. I don't know what it is, but it makes sense.
Why is he so adamant that there's camp?
He wants to buy it.
What's so special about this land?
Yeah, nothing happens here.
I don't know exactly. Nothing interesting happens in the Glimmerwood.
But if this is the space in particular that he is adamant that he will own, or that it will at least be cleared, there's something here he's after.
He wants to buy it. He doesn't share his plans beyond that with me. He wants me to give in and sell him Camp Glimmerwood.
So if your camp is hemorrhaging money like you say it is, you need a better marketing campaign.
So, see, Parents' Day is our last chance to turn these things around. I think Lord Seo sent you here to help me make this Parents' Day the most spectacular Parents' Day anyone has ever seen. If we can impress the parents, maybe we can secure their support. They might make donations or convince their friend to start sending their campers back. I hate to burden you with this, but I believe your arrival here is not a coincidence. I know that CO sent you here for a reason. If you're willing, I'd really appreciate your assistance this afternoon in helping your campers prepare for Parents' Day and making sure that no monsters attack while all the parents are here. Many of them are highly important and influential, and if something happened to scare or hurt any of them, there would be no option but to close and sell to Lord Ironthorn. We need to prove to these parents that Camp Glimmerwood is worth keeping.
What other monsters have been here? Maybe that was discussed while I was sleeping in the cabin.
Wolves, wasps,
Yes, what
earth
others?
guys. I mean, that's really kind of, other than like, little things here and there.
So those encounters that we had
Those are the
today,
biggest,
those
biggest
are
and
not
most,
the first ones. Those are repeats.
those are it's the most threatening. Up until then, it's been like a single little sad kind of, like there was a really mean groundhog.
Now, it was said earlier that, was it that the cabins move throughout the camp or the camp moves out throughout the woods?
The camp moves throughout the woods.
So if they would have been successful and tore down all the structures, then it would just be an area inside of a magical dome that moved throughout the woods. How would that be beneficial to someone?
It'd be a fantastic hideout. They can never find you.
So like if they knock down the cabins here, when the camp moves, the cabins would still be knocked down. Mm-hmm. I don't...
No, what I'm looking for is that someone is like, it's a hemorrhage and it's just wasting money. Is someone trying to take the camp?
Right.
If someone's trying to take the camp, we were talking about why. Are there cool minerals underneath it? Mm-hmm. Is the grass made out of gold? So if you take away the camp, what's left? A magical dome that moves throughout the woods. Mm-hmm. Is that what somebody's wanting at the end of the day? Is a magical, anti-magic, impenetrable dome that randomly moves throughout the forest?
I think this makes me think about someone who might be trying to take over someone else's land because there's something underneath it, some gold or silver underneath or salt or something.
But is it the land or is it just the...
I would say more the dome.
I did hear a rumor that this would make a really great location for like an elite corporate retreat, spa, tennis courts.
This Ironthorn guy, has Yancey ever heard that name
yeah,
before?
do we know anything?
You can do a history, and Aiden will have to decide what you know.
I would like to ask for a
I'm going to
blessing.
say you can give me a history because Yancey, yours is going to be a straight roll. Blackjack, you have advantage because you grew up in the city.
Yeah. My history's only a +2, but that is a 20.
With guidance, I have a 21.
So you both think for a second, thinking about the name Ironthorn, and you know it as not like a super rich noble family, but like higher class, but not crazy rich. Not considered to be a fey noble necessarily family, but you do know specifically, you can assume that this is probably the son who probably inherited a lot of money. You can assume he probably hasn't worked for much in his life and probably just wants to buy the place to have land.
Maybe suck up to some archfey.
Yes.
Well, and make
get more
money.
power.
Yeah. What was his lineage?
He is a Ladrin.
Could I tell what season he was in at the moment?
He was in summer at the moment.
Summer. Fabulous.
And you do know that family is more associated with the summertime anyways.
So the Ironthorns, are you thinking like the Eladrin family?
The Athenas Ironthorns, they're not that rich, but certainly if he's got enough money, he might be trying to do something with this land that...
The dad was into land, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you do know that family has been trying to be considered official Fey noble family for a long time.
You know, Ziansi, this might do something to help their influence amongst the other Fae.
For sure. And you know what? I was just thinking, you mentioned a few moments ago, he was wearing blue. I know I kind of get these conspiracy theory things sometimes, but what if that's some type of, in service to a blue dragon?
I mean, he can try to shoot for nobility, but I don't think Lord Orbas or Lord Lazuli would really like him all that much.
Oh, Lord Oberon. I can tell you, Lord Oberon, if I could go talk to him, we might be able to shut this down real quick, but I'm afraid that would put your campers in danger. And Fizzlepop, I have to say, I've sort of fallen in love with this camp as well, and the campers. We don't want anything to happen to them. That's what we are. That's what we're here for. That's why Seo's brought us to you. So, allow us to help you in any way possible. And that is not just doing perimeter sweeps. We're more than that.
I really think you have a lot to bring to Parents' Day. I really feel like it's the linchpin, the final thing.
I also believe we should let the kids know. They have a right to know this is their favorite place to be in the summer.
Yes.
And out of any of us who are strangers to their parents, I believe that if the kids are the ones to really fight for this place, then they'll have more impact than a bunch of us strangers. Of course, we'll help them figure out what they would like to do on this Parents' Day, but at the end of the day, it is these kids' lives that will be greatly affected if this place shuts down.
Yeah, I think that we can find out that they actually love this place maybe even as much as you do. And it also might be if they have influential parents that maybe they can be against this Iron Thorn guy.
Greetings and salutations, my friends. I'm Michael Cross. So great to have a moment to talk with you during this mid-show break. First off, I want to invite you all to join us as Patreon members. The money we raise helps us pay for things like the music and sound effects you hear on the show, as well as money to go to events and make new fans. When you become a Patreon member, you get our episodes 4 days early, bonus content, access to our Discord server, and full versions of our roundtable discussions. You'll be joining other fans like Scott Wise, Don Mills, Heath Mormon, and the Lady Kate. So join us right now at patreon.com/RedDirtDnD. Another way to support us is by getting your very own Red Dirt merchandise. You can find things like hats, hoodies, mugs, and t-shirts. Just click on the merch tab at RedDirtDnD.com or RedDirtRPG.com. Since 2020, the Red Dirt D&D podcast has been close to another Oklahoma actual play Dungeons & Dragons podcast, D20 to Curtain. And me personally, I've had a chance to work on stage with some of the actors on the show. So when you get done with this episode, you should check them out.
Hello, fellow D&Ders. My name is Jerome.
I'm Jennifer. I'm Jody.
And together with our friends Kara, Timothy, and Jared, we are the cast of the D20 to Curtain podcast, where Oklahoma theater geeks and their friends hit record and explore our new addiction to Dungeons & Dragons.
We think D&D is more than just a game. It helps us tap into the enduring power of storytelling.
We combine live gameplay with behind-the-curtain episodes to share our experiences, insights, habits, discoveries, and passion for D&D with anyone who will listen.
We hope D20 to Curtain will make you laugh, cry, maybe even make your experience at your table even more satisfying. Check us out anywhere you listen to podcasts or visit us at d20tocurtain.com or at D20 to Curtain on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
We look forward to having you. All we ask is that you have fun, be kind, and play the role.
If you're looking for more content, make sure to check out our YouTube page with Mysteries of Beatrix live every Wednesday. Keys from the Golden Vault from the Red Dirt Outlaws dropping every Tuesday at noon, and Plausible Deniability every other Thursday at 7 p.m. So come check it out at youtube.com/@RedDirtRPG or search for Red Dirt RPG on YouTube. And we would love to hear from you. Find us on social media at Red Dirt RPG. You can also get in touch with us through our website at reddirtrpg.com. In the meantime, make sure and subscribe to this podcast and leave a comment on your favorite podcatcher so others can find us. All right, I think that's everything I need to tell you. Right now, let's head back to Red Dirt D&D.
After lunch, you meet up with your campers in the Camp Glimmerwood amphitheater. You descend the steps, passing the rows of benches, terminating in a circular stage area. Kinsley and her pixie scouts seem to have moved all of the new decorations from the art barn here to the amphitheater probably this morning while you were doing a perimeter check. If you want to talk to them, you can. Here's how this whole your afternoon activity slot is going to work. You have to determine how you're going to use your skill you've been working on to help Parents' Day. But you're also welcome to talk to your campers.
But what I want to know is, Fizzle Pop, what did he think about Jaska's suggestion that we tell the students?
He's not going to make a camp-wide announcement. If you want to tell your campers, you can do that, but he doesn't want to start a panic.
Right. That's what I thought. That's okay, good. As we gather our students in the amphitheater.
Are all the kids there, or is it just
your campers?
Just our campers. Okay. I look to the rest of the group before on our way to the amphitheater. What do we think? Do we want to tell our campers?
Yes.
About
I believe it's the right thing to do.
It
I don't
is.
think these kids need to be left in the dark any longer. Like I said to Fizzlepop, Tinkertop, this will greatly impact their lives, especially since some of them have been coming here for a long time.
I get why we want to tell them, but I also understand why Mr. Tinkertop did not. They are children.
They are children, but that just means they're young. It doesn't mean they're stupid. And so they are going to. They already know something's going on.
Mr.
whether they're talking about
Tinkertop
it or not.
just didn't want. He thought he could fix it.
I know, and apparently he can't. And so that's why I say I agree with Beatrix and Jaska. We've got to tell them, because also they might be able to add their abilities. I have to say, I would like Brock at my side, and Elion's quite wise. He knows what he's doing. Even the little scrawny kid might be able to bring some magic to it.
Are you talking about Kinsley?
I think you meant Eugene.
Eugene, there you go.
Eugene! He is a strong of heart.
That's what I say. He's scrawny, but so am I.
He's not scrawny.
I agree with Blackjack.
They could form the council that keeps this camp running for years to come.
And we don't want them to think that we don't trust them.
Right. So, I say we talk to them as soon as we get to the amphitheater.
Yep.
So they're all milling around, waiting for you guys to arrive to help out.
Jaska will call out to them. Just a moment, everybody. If y'all could gather around, we've got something really important to tell you.
And they will do so.
I'm going to keep a keen eye on Kinsley's reaction to any of this news.
Yeah.
Her parents forcing politics upon her. And
When Jaska starts to talk to the kids about it, Beatrix is going to turn around to Blackjack and give that look with the no, and then turn back around to the kids.
Okay. Jaska looks at all the kids, meets eye contact with all of them, and says, "Now, I know we're all gearing up for a good Parents' Day here, but unfortunately we've learned a little bit of news, and we wanted to be forthright with all of you, as some of this could greatly impact your future." And I kind of want to get a read of how they're reacting to me starting to dip into a more serious tone.
Sure, give me an insight.
Okay. 8.
They're listening to you.
Okay.
I'm going to walk around among them just in case any of them needs a little pat on the shoulder.
We all know that Fizzlepop, Tinkertop has been running this place for a while. However, it seems as if somebody else wants to step in, not to fulfill his role, but to make sure that Camp Glimmerwood is no longer operable. But we, in our short time here, have fallen in love with this place, and we know that you all greatly love this place as well. I guess all this is to say that we believe that if we make this the greatest Parents' Day ever, that we all might have a shot at keeping Camp Glimmerwood open.
So you look around at the group, and as you kind of announce this, Elion, Callista, and Brock look absolutely 0% surprised at anything you just said. Dahlia looks like you've just connected a couple of puzzle pieces that she had. Kinsley looks very determined, and Eugene looks not surprised, but like offended. And Kinsley would be the one to speak up and be like, "Of course, we can make this the best Parents' Day ever!" She kind of motions towards the decorations kind of on the stage in the middle of the amphitheater and says, "Look at these awesome decorations that Twitch helped us make. They're so beautiful. I think that we could just win the parents over and save the camp."
It's not just about someone wanting to close this place down. We've encountered creatures that seem to be sent to try to shut this place down. My concern is that come Parents' Day, no matter how much glitter we have going on, we could all be in danger.
But you guys have taken care of all the monsters before.
And we will again, because we've come to love each one of you.
But there shouldn't be monsters for us to take care of.
You guys are getting to the age where you'll be able to take care of yourselves soon, but think about the little ones.
And I look over at Brock.
Yes, Brock and all of you, if something happens, we're going to count on you to take care of all the other children in the group. We will take care of the monsters. You take care of everyone else.
Brock would step forward, because you have to remember, Brock is the oldest one in camp. This is his last summer.
I've been here for a long time, Blackjack, and I'll make sure no one else gets hurt. It's my last year, and I'm gonna make sure this place does not close down, as long as you help me.
I'm here for you, Brock. Now, what we've got to do is figure out a way to, you and I, to make this place good, and I'll put my back into it.
So, mechanically, for this afternoon activity, you guys just all have to decide how you're going to use the skill you've been working on to work towards Parents' Day. The world is your oyster. Generally, if it's kind of related to Parents' Day, so like if Brock and Blackjack wanted to like help like carry some heavy firewood in for like a bonfire.
What is our goal? Like use the skills that you got for Parents' Day for the goal of winning over the parents.
Yeah, so the whole thing with Parents' Day that Tinkertop hopes is that Parents' Day goes so well that all of these parents also want to save Camp Glimmerwood, and they'll kind of like outvote essentially Iron Thorn. And because the camp would be so prosperous then, he wouldn't have a leg to stand on to try to shut it down.
And the event is going on here in the amphitheater, correct?
It's going on here in the
Excellent.
amphitheater.
Okay,
So this is
I've
like
got
a
something now.
showcase.
Yes, it's the talent show at the end of camp to save the camp.
That's what we're doing. Okay.
The fundraiser.
All right, Beatrix is all over this.
When you say skills, it's going to actually be like, I need to come up with something to do that would result in a charisma roll.
Blackjack needs to use strength. Jaska can use wisdom or tumbleweeds. Beatrix can use misty step or charisma. Zionsi is also wisdom
And nature.
and nature, and then Billy is intelligence
Wait,
or
I'm supposed
history.
to use what?
Either your new teleportation skill from your keys or
Yes.
something that would involve a charisma check.
I look out about the amphitheater. Is there a stage?
There's a stage, the back row is up high, and then you walk down the steps, and then there's a circular stage in the middle of the amphitheater, which is where the stage is.
But is there a set?
There's not a set currently on the stage.
We can make one.
You could make one.
That's what I'm planning on
I'm
doing.
assuming the amphitheater's outside, right?
It is outside.
Okay.
Itty bitty rewind. Zionsi would like to try to do like a perception check on why Eugene seems offended.
Sure.
So, and give myself guidance. Oh no, natural one. God,
Oh, of course.
for a 3.
Well,
I have no idea why.
If you could also like kind of lean over to Bill and be like, hey, why is Eugene so...
I would be happy to do that. So,
Or you can just ask him.
I rolled a natural
Or you
one.
could ask Eugene.
I rolled a natural one. I'm so confused. I lean over to Billy and I'm like,
Hey, what's your camper's deal? How come he's like, looks all like offended by that news from Blackjack?
Let's see what this... My insight's a +1. I got a 13, so a 14. Probably doesn't like want other people to like move in on his flutter glimmer research. If I had to guess. He's got a big map in his cabin with all these little pins and string.
So when you talk to him later, be sure and tell him that keeping the camp safe will help keep the integrity of his research.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What would you like to do?
Billy and Eugene are going to look through the records of the campers and see who the most powerful parents are to try to like know who to butter up the most at this Parents' Day. So they're going to be reading, they got permission to look through the files from Fizzlepop to look through to see who are going to be the richest parents to try to schmooze at Parents' Day. That's what they're going to do. And he gets advantage. Oh, good. And he got a 15, so we've got a check mark in like the success pile.
It sounded like Blackjack wanted to do a theater play.
I just wanted to build a set, because if it's going to be a talent show, then we've got to build a set at that, which means we've got to have something that's going to reflect the sound. So let's build up some kind of a band shell.
That sounds easy. I will go gather the wood, and you just chop it up and make sure like everything gets situated, everything gets formed up into how you want it to look.
Yes.
And here's the axe. Yeah, use your legs. Remember, use your legs. Those are your strongest things.
I've got this. Okay. All right.
And you gotta use this form. Don't, or else something bad will happen if you don't swing it like that. And I'll be back with more wood.
All right. I'm going to put in some wood, and I'm going to start chopping.
Chop some wood. Give me athletics.
Can I give myself guidance?
Sure.
15.
Okay. You also get a check in the success column with your 15. Excellent.
So what I want to do for our performance part.
Okay.
I want to do like Bollywood dancing that includes her kaleidoscope. So as her kaleidoscope is moving around, they'll like make a big circle and Beatrix is going to teleport through it to where they are. That's what the choreography is going to be.
Sure, I'll let you do your practice. I just need charisma checks.
I'd say performance.
Or performance. Yeah, give me a performance.
20.
It looks great.
I mean,
It looks really good. Honestly, Brock's a little impressed. He walks slowly past. I just need some more wood, don't worry about me.
Wow, that's really impressive.
Jaska will go up to Callista and, well, I'm unfortunately not entirely sure what we could do for setup, but maybe I have an idea for a performance. Maybe we could rehearse like Beatrix and Dahlia are doing.
What's your idea?
So I've got my tumbleweeds and you've got some magic, right?
I love those tumbleweeds.
I know, they're great.
They're pretty great.
So there's quite a few things that they can do. They can either lift you up high to do some spectacular things in the air, or they're kind of lightweight. You might be able to do some juggling with them.
Ah, I see. They seem like really prickly though, and I don't know how much the little one would like me throwing it in the air. The little one seems to be a little more rambunctious.
Do you turn into animals quite often?
Every now and then, you know, for fun.
So I can make sure mistletoe doesn't actually hurt you, but we can do like an almost lion tamer type act.
Mistletoe is the lion tamer?
Yeah.
You know, that could be like the comedy outbreak that the show really needs.
Yeah, I think so.
I think that would be really great. I don't know how to give me a tumbleweed check. I guess just a wisdom check, because that's what you use to tumbleweed check. How do the tumbleweeds do?
They're not very good at their initial rehearsal.
I mean, this is her first. This is Mistletoe's first time being a lion tamer. So
Mistletoe got a 6.
Oh.
It is funny in a slapstick, everything goes wrong kind of way.
Aw. You know what? We can work with this.
Seancy?
I find Elion.
Mm-hmm.
And then Elion.
Yeah?
Hey, pull yourself together, man.
Oh, okay.
Wait, listen.
Yeah.
If anybody knows the best munchies in this whole place, it's you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so where's the chef? Where's the cook?
I mean, I actually do quite a bit of cooking myself.
Awesome.
I grab you by the hand and start dragging you toward the cafeteria.
Oh, okay.
All right. Okay, so here's the deal. We are going to take some of these mushrooms that we found, and we're going to make some special desserts for the parents.
Oh, yes. That sounds totally cool, man.
Yeah.
Do you have experience baking or in making
That's
stuff?
why I need you, and I'm also going to ask for a blessing from Grandma Spider.
Okay. I'll work on these. I'll guide you through it, and we can work together to make these.
Yeah, I'm thinking these bright orange starbursts and some of these luminary blossoms. Those are the ones that kind of glow a little bit. And it is okay, an upside down. We'll make. All right, I should probably not use that one just in case.
Wisdom, to not poison the parent.
That is a modified 17.
That goes in the success column. And as you...
watch that. That's a poison one. Let's put that over there.
Are you sure? I thought upside
No, that one. Well, yeah.
What if we just use a little bit of the white cap so it tingles but doesn't make anybody die?
Give it to me, and I'll see what I can do.
Okay, be careful. All right, the sunburst orange and the luminary blossom, and then that one with the shifting colors. Now we can make, like, some pastries or some cupcakes or something out of it.
Let's do that.
And the kitchen gnomes give you a whole, edge of the kitchen where you can be out of their way, but still doing your little snacks. And Twitch.
Okay, Kinsley, this place is important to you, right?
It's my favorite place.
It's sort of a place that you need, isn't it?
The place that I really like being in. It makes me happy.
Are all her friends gathered around too?
Pixie Scouts kind of just, follow her.
Y'all have been great. And I've had a lot of fun getting to know y'all. And I'm going to need you to trust me and maybe get to know me a little bit. And I think that with the combination of the two, we can really pull this off. Now, listen, I'm from a big city, so I know how money works. But I also understand that parents care. And we're going to need to work an angle that's going to get us both. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to need fireflies and we're going to need someone to shine some lights up on that stage for us. And Kinley, I'm going to need you to take your sash apart and pull the patches off of them.
Her eye starts to twitch. Why? I don't want to. It's been a long time.
Because I need you to illuminate. Imagine the stage is illuminated as bright as it could be, and in the distance you hear a voice that says, tomorrow. It's the sound of clapping, and I turn around and make clapping motions to the pixies.
The other pixie scouts will join up
here.
Yay,
Kinsley! And then the light, the illumination fades a little bit, and it says, today. And then you and the pixie scouts are just running around and holding hands, and I motion for them to, and you're laughing, and everything's fun, and you're comparing patches to each other. And then what I want the scouts to do is they all take 2 or 3 each of your patches. And then yesterday, and the light's a little bit more dim. And basically, without making this forever, it's going to go backwards in time as the light dims and dims and dims, and she has fewer and fewer patches in the form of the friends around her and the patches themselves.
Okay.
Until it's down to nothing and it's dark. And then it's just going to be her coming out, surrounded by jars of fireflies in a very dim light, and says, and if it wasn't for this camp, I would have none of that. And she's going to hook the sash with nothing on it on a post and walk off the stage while all the other pixie scouts are going to the end of all the rows and handing the parents baskets. Yeah, not a dry eye in the house, not a checkbook unwritten. Now, let's make this happen. Start unstitching those patches. Girls, grab some jars for fireflies. I'm gonna go talk to Blackjack about shining some light down on the stage. Ready? Put my hand out.
All of the pixie scouts immediately go in. Kinsley looks very unsure because you're asking her to tear apart her sash and to stand next to a bunch of fireflies. But she does. I trust you, Twitch. And she puts her hand in as well.
So let's go. 1, 2, 3. Camp Glimmerwood.
Camp Glimmerwood! And I do need a performance.
It is a 20.
Persuasion. Oh, you used your portent. Excellent. So, from the onlooker at the edge of the amphitheater, they would see a lot of hubbub, a lot of action. They would see a rabbit man splitting wood, a possum doing research, a cat jumping through a circle of butterflies, a bunch of tumbleweeds attempting to tame a lion. They could see light smoke coming from the kitchen and a very charismatic rat corralling a bunch of teenage girls. And it seems like things are looking up for Parents' Day.
Red Dirt D&D Tales from the Wilds is Kiri Hester as Billy and our Dungeon Master, Connor Shenold as Jaska, Johnny Payne as Twitch, Kim Cross as Beatrix, Brooke Bullock as Ziansi, and I'm Michael Cross as Blackjack. The showrunner for Campaign 2 is Aidan Cross. Our theme music was created by the cinemagician PJ Castillo. Our incidental music comes from Jeffrey McBride. Our sound effects and additional music, courtesy of Monument Studios, Sirenscape, Describe.com, and TabletopAudio.com. Dice for the Red Dirt D&D cast provided by SD Way Gaming. You can find us at reddirtdnd.com. If you are enjoying Red Dirt D&D, make sure to subscribe, rate us, and leave a comment. Also, tell your friends about Red Dirt D&D. You can also support the show at patreon.com/reddirtdnd at whatever giving level works best for you. Join us next time as we travel farther into the wilds. I think it was Michael Nesmith's mom. Liquid paper.
Here we come.
Yeah. His mom invented liquid paper.
Nice.
Liquid what?
Paper?
Liquid paper.
Whiteout.
Oh my gosh.
Whiteout.
That's right. You would know what liquid paper
You
is.
don't know what whiteout is.
You don't know what whiteout is.
Whiteout correction tape?
Oh,
It used to be a fluid. It used to be a jar and you got a
It was
brush.
a fluid?
Yes.
Yeah.
But
You
then
would
I have
brush
you
it on the
painted
paper.
on.
You can still,
You can still buy it like that.
I
You
have
still
some
get it.
liquid in my desk.
Yeah.
It might be very traumatizing for the children for us to drag a dead body through camp.
I also agree.
But
with Billy.
don't we have a bag of holding?
Technically, yes, Billy's backpack is a bag of holding, but why would I have brought it on patrol?
That's true. Okay,
Of course
so never
you
mind.
would have brought it on patrol.
You're a
I mean,
D&D
it goes
adventurer. You have
everywhere.
everything on you all the time.
Time.
So we will stash them inside of what's left of the.
They aren't going anywhere.
Let's just bring his head. That'll be less traumatizing.
Let's put on a pike too.
We found a statue.
I did hear a rumor that this would make a really great location for like an elite corporate retreat, spa, tennis courts,
Got you.
that
So
kind
big.
of thing.
Super sinister. Then.
Secret place for your cabal to meet.
Good old capitalism. Got you.
Rich getting richer. Okay.
I know I kind of get these conspiracy theory things sometimes, but what if that's some type of, in service to a blue dragon?
Don't say that too loudly. I don't think we want to bring that down on us.
The maniacal laughing starts now.
We might be able to shut this down real quick, but I'm afraid that would put your campers in danger. And Fizzletop.
My name is Fizzle Pop. Damn it. Tinker
I
Top.
was really trying to say his name's correctly
Right.
now.
You can,
I'm really, yeah.
Here.
I was
Write
really
it down.
The
Yeah.
first one is an F.
Write in the note over.
Fizzlepop.
His name is Fizzle Fizzle Top Top. That's
Fizzle, fizzle, top, top.
So,
Shimmy, shimmy, cocoa.
Kabop, shimmy, shimmy. So,
I don't want to alarm any of you. Sorry, Blackjack.
no, it's good.
Jaska should be the one. She's
better
she is our camp counselor.
Better bedside manner for
The
sure.
party camp counselor.
If judging by how it went when you guys talked to Young or Ross, it needs to be myself, Beatrix, and Billy talking.
That's right. Beatrix
kids.
You weren't
turns
supposed to burn
around.
it down either.
all right, kids. Listen up. I'm Blackjack. These are my friends. And someone's trying to take the camp away from me.
When Jaska starts to talk
I'm
to
sorry, I
the
didn't
kids,
see anything wrong with that at all.
And save the camp. They may have anything else they want to say before we go into montage.
Yes. I have a lot to say, but I've been told not to.
You can talk now that the official blow is
Oh,
over.
can I talk now? Okay, good. So here's the thing.
Think about the little ones.
And I look over at Brock.
Everyone's shorter than you. Everyone's smaller than you. That's from Hook.
yes.
Bugs, little bugs. Never bugs.
Never bugs.
Keeping the camp safe will help keep the integrity of his research.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You went into Eugene's cabin.
Yes.
How did you survive?
I mean, there were lots of books, but none of the bookshelves fell down on me.
You should do not go into Brock's cabin.
What's wrong with Brock's cabin?
Teenager.
Eugene's cabin was fine.
Oh no, it's different. Blackjack. I didn't even have to. I could smell it from outside. Yeah.
Exactly. So, all right.
Oh, because he is sweaty.
He is sweaty and stinky.
From
Right.
pumping iron.
Brock in the background. Hey.
I'm still here, guys.
I have feelings.
I find it endearing.
So all we need to do is, let's see, woodworking. Do you have an axe you can chop wood with?
I used to know a guy by the name of Mockrit who had an axe.
I mean, surely there's something in
You
the
could-
janitorial closet.
Yeah.
You would have, you could find something in the shed.
We have access to axes.
All right.
Yes. I'm going to put in some wood, and I'm going to start chopping, and it's going to be an absolutely awesome montage of me chopping wood.
Like those guys on TikTok, the shirtless lumberjacks.
Oh,
What kind of TikTok
Yeah.
do you watch?
Those.
Yeah, so
They're everywhere.
So I am shirtless with my shorts and my colorful coat.
But also suspenders.
And suspenders.
Blackjack, let me just put my phone here. Let's record this. This will get huge views.
What if we just use a little bit of the white cap so it tingles but doesn't make anybody die?
Ziancy.
It's like the puffer fish, where if you make it just right, it's not deadly.
To illuminate. Imagine. And I spin it around to the stage. It starts off as bright as can be. Why am I doing all the hand gestures?
because you
We're
always do.
audio.
That's one of my favorite things.
all the other Pixie Scouts are going to the end of all the rows and handing the parents baskets.
And Sarah
You want to donate, don't you? Yeah. Not a dry eye in the house. Not a checkbook unwritten. In the arms of the angel. I'll even bring a dog out with a limp. You, Billy, can play the dog.